Try that again. There we go. Hello and good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, which means we are going to hell dive because we need to start the week off right before work starts. Oh, the fun of work. And we have no missions right now. There are no big plans for Super Earth because we saved it. We saved Super Earth. We've pushed back the Illuminate, so now we get to do whatever we want for just a short period of time. So we are going to enjoy some fighting of the bots. Gotta get my stream set up. There we go. Okay, so we got an orbital blockade. And we've got to do... Let's start down here and we'll work our way up. Let's grab...
Orbit synchronized.
Let's say... how about a commando, that laser cannon, and anti-tank emplacement. There we go. We should be able to turn quite a lot of guys into scrap metal with that. So here we go. I am also excited for this week is vacation week. So starting on Thursday, we are going to be heading down to Southern Oregon, one of my favorite places to go because there is a wonderful wildlife preserve down there, and I absolutely love wandering through the wildlife preserve. So I'm very excited to go do that and just get away for a little bit. We've been needing a vacation, so it is time for vacation. I'm also excited for next month. Well, it's officially June, yeah. So next month is my birthday. I don't know what I'm going to do for my birthday. Don't know how I'm going to do anything for it, but it's coming up, you know. It's weird because it's one of those things where like I've never imagined myself being as old as I am. Never imagined myself getting to where I am at. So it's one of those things I'm not really prepared for. This year I was 33, so it was like that special year because like, oh, I'm the same age as Jesus, and you spend the whole year comparing yourself to Jesus. Like Jesus was 33, and you know he saved the world and all of humanity. What did I do? And by comparison, I did not do very much. Moen, good morning. How are you doing this morning? But I know that that's not a fair comparison, right? So we can't spend all day comparing ourselves to Jesus. Ooh, that's bad. That's real bad. Let's back up a little bit. See if we can hit that guy with a grenade from here. Oh, he's gonna shoot. Hey! Okay, we got that guy. Why is my weapon not selecting? There we go. Okay. I don't recognize that language, Moen. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Hopefully I don't recognize that language. That's one of those things you always fear like, okay, do I not understand that, or am I having a stroke? Because you know, one of those things is real bad. Okay, I messed up my display and I cannot see my map. So hopefully I am in a good enough spot here that I can fix that without getting shot. There we go. Okay. Back in it. We've already lost a few people, thanks for the Democratic Space Station blowing our own people up, so that was a little rough, but we got this. I think we can do this. Nothing. Nothing here, nothing important. Okay. Let's clear out around the area a little bit before the geological survey starts, since that's tough. What are you all up to today? Is it Monday and y'all going to work, or anything interesting going on? Anything interesting happening with you all? I know I got to, this week I've got to get the rest of my photos ready. They have put up the official guidebook to submitting photographs to the state fair. So I've got to select my 4 or 5 photos that I'm going to put into the state fair to win this year. It's tough. I've got about 9 photos, I think, that could potentially win. So, like, I've got to narrow it down, but it's one of those things where, like, if one of the photos doesn't do well, then I'm going to spend the rest of, the year kicking myself and saying, I knew I should have used this photo instead, right? So, like, it's so tough to choose the photo, because you know if you choose the wrong one, you're going to spend the rest of the year being like, if I would have chose this other photo, I know I could have won. And I really want to win the state fair this year. Every year I have lost, and I would like to win one state fair. So it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on my mind. I really want to make it happen. So I want to select. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, that's not good either. Okay, let's jetpack out of there. That guy threw a barrage right on top of us. Let's grab our commando. And maybe an anti-tank emplacement might help as well. Did he already scrap that thing? Did it get... I can't tell. I cannot tell what is going on. There's too much going on. Okay, let's grab this for a second so we can blast this guy out of the air. Oh, there's fire. And there's guys right on. Wow. Okay, we got surrounded here fast. Let's move. Okay, we can do this. We can handle this. This is just a little setback. We're getting chased. We're getting exploded, but we can do this. We just need a few more stims. As long as we have stims, we are untake-outable, so... Blow these guys out of the air really quick. Okay. Let's take care of this, since this is becoming a real problem. I don't know what just hurt me there. I couldn't really see. Screen's a little too dark. I don't know what hurt me, but okay, we'll take it. Let's hope we don't jump jet right into mines. Okay. I think we're safe here. I think this is a good place. And then we're going back for more supplies. Oh, I see the tip of something right up there. Let's knock this guy down really quick so he doesn't blow up my bomb early. Okay. That's armed, and we're running. And we're running. Get away, Pink. It's gonna blow up. Alright, that problem is solved. On to the next problem. Oh, look, the next problem is right there. Oh, that's not good. Woo! I thought we were down, but somehow we got that stim in time. So what blasted me? Was that a tower up here? Good morning! Dex is here. And Bubble is here. How are you guys doing? Good morning, good morning. What is new? What is going on? Oh, okay, yep, that is a giant tower blasting us up there. If we can grab the commando, we can take that out.
Reinforcing. I'm out.
Okay. Problem solved. Next problem. What's going on this morning, you guys? I want you to know, Dex, I woke up late this morning. So you have been spared because I got last night some special whipped cream because apparently all the rage right now is creamed lemonades. You take basically half lemonade and half whipped cream, and apparently it makes a frothy, good, sweet and tangy drink. So that is the next thing we're doing on stream is frothy lemonade, but I woke up too late to make it this morning, so I wanted to get on stream as fast as possible. So you have been spared the frothy lemonade one more day. Oh, there's two of these guys. Okay. Making a matcha latte for the second time ever. I don't love matcha at all. The kid has been up since 6:30. Trying to avoid a panic attack. Anything in particular cause it, or is it just one of those days where you just wake up with anxiety? I mean, your kiddo's doing better than I am. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning today, so, you know, he got up. Let's sleep in a little bit. On the topic of anxiety, I did have the dangerous thought the other day. My new medication has been working, and we're at about a month or so of it. And the doctor said after 6 weeks is where it passes through the brain-blood barrier, and you'll start to really feel the effects. And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling so good today. I don't even know if I need to take my medication. And I was like, oh, that's the bad thought to have, right? Like the only reason you feel good is because you've been taking that medication. So if you stop now, you're going to start feeling bad again. So I do understand that like dangerous line of thing. You're like, well, I don't need this anymore because I feel good. Not recognizing, well, the only reason you feel good is because the medication is working. What does it feel like to have no anxiety? That's what my medication does, is takes away the anxiety, and it feels amazing. You get so used to having it and so used to like living with it that you forget what it's like not to have it. And it's such a good feeling to not have just this constant worry and pit in your stomach and anxiety showing up. It really is so good. So I highly recommend it to everyone who needs it to talk to your doctor about it, because it really is worth the trip to a doctor. And even though I'm not a big fan of pills, it's increased my quality of life so much that it is beyond worth it to live without the anxiety. Ooh, that was a direct hit. Okay, we've cleaned this up. On to the next problem. Oh, I almost fell into that hole. My aunt, I haven't had a seizure since I was a kid. I'm going to stop my medicine. Grand mal seizure at 57. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's a dangerous thought. And I know a lot of people, because I know a guy who needed a lot of different medication, and it was the same thing. It's like, oh, well, I've been feeling so good lately. I just don't need my medication anymore. And then he went off the deep end and moved across the country, and no one knows kind of where he is or what he's doing now. So it's really is a dangerous thought, but it's also like speaks a testament to like how effective that medication is, right? Like after a few months, like, wow, I feel so good. I've never felt like this before. I must be getting better. No, that's how baseline people feel, right? Like, oh, to wake up and have no pains and no problems and no anxiety and all these other things, like, I couldn't imagine just waking up and feeling that good every day without all those things. I'm trying to get my antidepressants right now. I want to change it. My doc suggested upping the dose. I got so lucky on that, because my doctor is very willing to let me try different things. And I know there's a lot of people who want to get on medication and their doctors start with, well, you know, let's try some therapy first, or let's try these other things. And that's a whole level of frustration. But also I got really lucky in the first, excuse me, the first medication he gave me worked. And I know for some people, it's a whole process of going through medications and trying to find something to work, and these ones don't work, or this one doesn't work, or it needs other things to work. And for me, it was just the first thing he prescribed worked perfectly with 0 side effects. So I know I've gotten incredibly lucky that it was just, oh, okay, one and done. It worked. It's working perfectly. The dosage was correct. It just kicked in. Like that is so unheard of that I count my blessings on that one. And this is one of those things, this is why I want to do a video eventually talking about Saint Raphael the Archangel, my patron saint, the saint of healing, because that's one of those things where I know some people like, yeah, you just got lucky, but also like I prayed so much for intercession from Saint Raphael on the medication and beating the anxiety and all that just, it feels like a small miracle that it just all worked as it was supposed to, and I know that not many people get that. Matcha latte successful, only a hint of seaweed. I can't do seaweed, so you are braver than I. My anxiety has improved a lot naturally, but lately it's gotten a lot worse. I mean, when people say their anxiety is getting a lot worse, I know that people are just like, oh, well, the world, but also like, yeah, have you seen the world we live in lately? Like, of course your anxiety is getting worse. If you're paying attention, then of course your anxiety is getting worse, because the world is just bombarding us with fear and problems and all these issues that I think any rational person who paid attention, and I like to be informed, but also like I know a lot of people like Aaron Parnas on TikTok, where every time there's quote breaking news, he makes 20 posts a day about all the annoying things our president's doing or all the stupid decisions people are making. And like great people are trying to be informed. I never want people to not be informed, but also like what is he actually doing? He's just making you scared and afraid. Yes, you're informed, but like you're informed of what? Are you going to be able to do anything with that information? The answer is most likely no. So like, what is the point to staying informed on it? It's not doing anything but ruining your quality of life at that point. So like, is it worth it? And I don't want to call him a fearmonger, because I don't think he's purposefully trying to spread fear, but it's very obvious that he makes money off of getting people to tune into him and listen to him talk about all the problems of the world consistently. And that I think that's an issue. So you know, I don't follow him. I don't like what he does, and I think that a lot of people would benefit from just becoming less informed. Again, I don't want people to be not informed. I think it's important for people to be politically informed, but also not at the cost of your quality of life. The same thing actually goes for Catholics a lot. There's a lot of Catholics who are so concerned with like, well, what's the Pope doing and what's going on in Rome and all that. And there was a very wonderful quote from someone, a Catholic Answers, I believe, who was saying that you can achieve a level of piousness like a medieval peasant. There's a certain level of like medieval piety to not knowing what's going on in Rome, not being concerned with what the Pope is doing or what's going on in the faith, and just sticking to your lane and understanding your place with God and not having to worry about all the politics and extras that go on it. What's going on in your forehead? Is it always there or not observe it all? I honestly forgot it was up there. Emmy got these from TikTok. They're little patches that help to hydrate and dry out and destroy pimples. And I woke up with one yesterday. So it's supposed to get rid of the pimple on my forehead. And we're seeing if it's going to work. She says they work, and it's worked a few times for me. Hey, stop breaking stuff. Hey, run. No. My cat's in here causing problems. So yeah, there's a certain admiralty to being aware of what's going on in the world, but also not at the cost of your health. I guess is the whole point I was trying to make. Okay, let's go take out this tower really quick. That'll make things a little bit easier. No, you're not unobservant. It's only been there a day, and I didn't stream yesterday, so... Also, speaking of streaming, don't forget there is no stream this Friday because I will be on vacation, and I will not have access to my streaming stuff. I'm considering, because they do have Wi-Fi, so I could do like a short stream from my phone, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because the hotel is booked full, like it is full of people, and I don't want to be that guy who they're on vacation, they're trying to have a nice quiet morning, and they wake up to me sitting in the lobby being like, hey, you know, what's up, it's your boy, and waking them up. So I think we're just going to go with no stream on Friday. Maybe... if you're lucky, I might stream the wildlife sanctuary we go to. We absolutely love, and I've always driven through it and taken pictures, but I've never done a live stream of it. So maybe we'll do a live stream of that because it's quiet and won't disturb other people. But for the most part, I don't want to mess up other people's vacations, you know? Because I know that I would personally be upset if I spent all the money on a nice quiet hotel away from people and I woke up to somebody streaming in the lobby, especially because I am loud and I know that I'm loud and those walls are thin. Like I feel like that would ruin their vacation, and I don't want to be the cause of the ruining of their vacation. So all right, where did that thing go? There was a walker over there. And I've lost track of him. There he is. Okay, problem solved.
Calling in reinforcements.
Just take the day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to enjoy the vacation and not worry about the stream that day. I think that is probably the best. I also tried, so you asked, Bubble. I'm glad you could comment on YouTube again finally, Bubble. I don't know what fixed finally, but I'm glad you were able to comment. You commented, am I going to play that game I was showing off and talking about? I did open up a match yesterday just to see if I could get anyone to join and play the game so I could show it off. And as I thought, I sat there and no one joined the game. So I don't think I'm going to be able to show it off at all because no one plays the game, unfortunately, anymore. And it's a shame because it's such a good game. That's the whole reason I made a whole stream on it, was because I really enjoy the game. You can comment on videos, but not shorts. Okay, bummer. I thought that finally got fixed. Oh, that's a whole lot of guys right there. Okay. Hopefully this will work. Well, that didn't work. I was going to try and jump jet up there to get out of the way of fire, but I have no stims left. We can't call in any stims. We're surrounded by enemies and gunfire. Holy cow, that is a lot of dudes. So I guess we're going to die for Super Earth here. That is our option. Guess I'll die. Maybe I'll see if I can find a Discord where I can get people to join so we can play a game, because it is one of the most fun games I have ever played. It just, you got to wait for a full party to join, and not a lot of people play Warcraft 3 custom maps anymore because, you know, it's just casually 25 years old this year, so who's playing 25-year-old games online with other people? I can't believe we're taking these guys out. We're surviving way more than I thought we would. Also, we're going to have another crossover stream with Tony. Him and a priest, actually, want to play some Helldivers. I know Tony has not played Helldivers, and I think the priest is pretty low level still. So I am going to join them and be their Helldivers 2 Sherpa and help them beat Helldivers 2. So we will be doing on June 11th. We are going to be doing a very special Helldivers 2 stream. And I am very, very excited to potentially be streaming with a priest. That sounds like such a cool experience. Oh, there's a lot of guys here still. Okay, we're running. Father Mark. I believe it's Trekkie for Christ who's playing. I don't know if I don't know his actual name, but I believe that is Father Mark. Also, interestingly enough, there's a meme. Emmy was watching TikTok, and there was a meme about a priest on there, and she came and showed me. It's like that's our local priest. I was like, there's no way. So I used like Google image search to reverse image search it, and someone took a picture of our local priest in a confessional and turned it into a meme. It was so weird. Like, it's so weird seeing a meme that is so local to you that you can recognize, like, oh, that's my confessional. Also, like, how many times have I gone to confession that we can recognize our confessional? Looking for group 2 Catholics and a priest are diving to hell. I know you brought up the Father Marcus pizza something, but there was like when the Pope discussion was going on, one of the options for Pope was Father Pizza Balla, and I thought that was such a cool name. That is like the most Italian name ever, Father Pizza Balla. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with our Pope. And speaking of him, it seems like people are reporting on this, and I don't know if this is actually his intention. So maybe it's just people memeing, but it looks like the Pope has called for a special virtual mass to attend on Trump's birthday. And it seems very much like he is intentionally saying, hey, I know Trump is having this parade and all this stuff about him, so while instead of celebrating that and paying attention to that, why don't you come to mass instead? And I know that he's already been very critical of Trump's administration and Trump as a whole. So I think that's an amazing move by him to say, hey, instead of paying attention to all this military parade and all this stuff, why don't you just spend some time with God instead? And I think that is a wonderful move by the Pope. Maybe a little bit petty. I know that some people will probably accuse him of a little bit of pettiness on that, but an absolutely brilliant move by the Pope, I think, to get people to redirect their thoughts and their attention. Oh, my leg is broken. And we're dead. Put down.
Reinforcement budget running low.
Are they doing a parade for Trump's birthday? The Catholic Church is not doing a parade for Trump's birthday, but he's been talking about doing a huge military parade. And like I haven't been following it because like we just had this whole conversation about not following all the news. But last I heard, it's supposed to be like $230 million is how much it's going to cost to do the parade for Trump's birthday. So like it's going to be a huge military parade from the sounds of it. So yeah, he's going to interrupt that. Oh goodness. I thought we might survive that. There's too many missiles going on there. That was too many missiles. Dude is a clown. There's definitely something egotistical and out of touch with the idea of saying there's too much government spending, there's too much waste, people can't afford things, and then saying I want to spend these millions of dollars on a parade for my birthday. I think every president should have at least one in the office. And so the thing is, like, I know that like a lot of people criticize, like, oh, well, he's going to have military flyovers, like jet planes are going to fly over, and that's going to cost us money. But like, I do understand, like, part of the military parades is in order to drive tanks and in order to drive fighter jets and all the equipment, all that, like a part of it legitimately is you need to log a certain number of hours in the machine. So like when we do flyovers and things like that, it's not just wasting money, it's helping pilots to log those hours for taking off and landing and on all those things. So I understand that it does have a purpose and it is useful and it's not a total waste of money. It's just one of those things that doesn't match up with what, you know, do as I say, not as I do. And like yesterday I was sitting on the couch, I was a little bored, and I turned on the old 1950s Animal Farm movie, and it was just incredibly relevant in so many ways. I think it was really, really, really a movie people should enjoy, a book people should read and enjoy. Because a big part of it is they have like written down a bunch of rules, and then the rules will change and they'll go up to the wall and see the rules were written and someone wrote over it, and it's the whole idea of like, well, has this rule always been this rule or has it changed? Like they say that this has changed or that this has always been this, but I remember it being something different, and the idea of misinformation, all that is very, very necessary. Sites like that boost nationalism. So I don't know. I'm torn on that one, to be honest. Like, I joined our local Knights of Columbus, which is a group of men who work with the local church to do charity work, to raise money, to help the church, and to donate to local causes around the area, which is great. I love that. Don't get me wrong. Love that. That's why I wanted to be a part of that. But, like, it's so weird that we will start our meetings with like, okay, we're gonna pray to God. Good, we're all here to serve God, so let's pray to God, and then let's do the national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance, and it just feels so weird. Like, I don't know. I guess I've never been that proud of America, and maybe that's a problem with me. I'm not saying America's a bad country, because there's definitely lots of countries have flaws, but like, I've just never had that pride of my country, I guess, and maybe that's a fault or flaw of me, but I've never felt the need to be overly patriotic to the country. And I know that is a core value of the Knights, so I know that is something the Knights believe in that I don't necessarily believe in. But again, that doesn't mean that it's not like, okay, not defending the country, not trying to make the country better, but that's more, I want the country to be better for the people who live in it. I want all people to have a good and safe and stable life. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with being proud of the country. It has everything to do with, I want all people to have a high, good quality of life. There are too many explosions going on again here. There are American war veterans dying on the streets right now. Even getting free healthcare in America isn't enough for them. It's true, no country is perfect. There's definitely a lot of flaws with other countries too. And I know that like one of the big things right now when we're talking about misinformation is people who like do the TikToks where it's like, look at how perfect Japan is, or look how perfect Norway is. And like, yeah, I'm sure there's some great things about those countries, but I know there's also flaws with those countries. But the flaw of social media is you only show one side of the story, right? So it's easy to say, look at how much better Japan is than America when you're showing little 30-second snippets of look at how advanced their convenience stores are and look at how good their railways are. Like, yeah, sure, those are definitely good things of it, but what about the work culture, the work-life balance? What about all the people who basically destroy themselves working 20 hours a day, going to the bar to drink, and then going back to work, and that's their entire life for 20, 30 years as a salary man? What about all the stigmas they have over there that are problematic? Like, no country is perfect. That is definitely the point I am trying to make. That being said, I still want to see some of those other countries. I would love someday, of course, we want to go to the Vatican and see Italy. I would love to see Japan. I want to see Scotland and Ireland. I know that I'll never get to, but I would love, just as a photographer and a journalist, I would love to be one of those people who sneaks into North Korea, sneaks a camera into North Korea and gets like the pictures so you can see what's really going on in North Korea. I would love to do that, but I'm also not willing to risk Emmy and mine's life to take some photos, you know? So I would very much enjoy seeing that and getting to do that, but I definitely don't understand why people want to go into North Korea, especially with what we do know about it. I'm guessing that even what we know about it is much worse than it actually like sounds like. So I couldn't imagine actually getting in there. Still, it would be an experience.
Mission coordinates.
All right, let's finish this mission up really fast. Gotta go scrap some
Engaging orbital.
bots. I also, of course, would love to do a pilgrimage to the Holy Land and see Jerusalem, see Egypt, see different places in the Middle East, but I don't know. I've seen so many, and again, we're talking about what you see on social media isn't necessarily reality. I see so many complaints and problems with those areas especially from tourists, that I would be scared to go there. And I don't know if I'm just that if I'm just being influenced by what I see, or if it really is that bad. I don't know. But there's definitely some flaws there. And again, just like anywhere else, right? There's always going to be flaws in the world. Let's see. Let's grab something with a short cooldown. Maybe some eats. There we go. All right, here we go. That guy's mask. I love that mask. It reminds me of Army of Two. I went to, while we were traveling around this weekend doing some stuff, and there was a video game store on the beach that I went into, and I picked up a copy of Army of Two. Love that game. But more importantly, I found 3 things that I'm really excited to do some videos on. One, they had a copy of a National Geographic photography game on PS3. I'd never heard of this game. I'm guessing it's a terrible educational game, but I'm excited to try it. So I grabbed a copy of that. I grabbed a copy of Final Fantasy IX, which, good game. But the reason why I was excited to grab this is the disc of Final Fantasy IX, has property of Hollywood Video written on it, and it's got a stamp from the old rental places. And I know that makes the disc a little bit more rare. It's just kind of a cool piece of history. Back when, you used to go to Blockbuster Video and rent video games, they would stamp their logo and stuff on the discs so that you knew that, hey, this is a property of a rental company. So I have a slightly rarer version of Final Fantasy IX because it's got a stamp on it from a rental place saying, hey, return this disc because you cannot own this disc. It is rental property, which is really cool. Also, finally, really cool, they had a old school demo disc. And I used to love getting PlayStation 1 demos. I thought that was always one of the coolest things. Was you go buy like a magazine, you get to try out all the latest games. So I had to grab a copy of the demo disc, and I'm excited to see what random PS1 games am I going to find on this demo disc. Is going to be very exciting. So I cannot wait to pop it in and see what random demos I got. It's also really cool for like Final Fantasy VIII. We've talked about Final Fantasy VIII. I love Final Fantasy VIII. If you play the demo for Final Fantasy VIII, the first mission is actually way different because they planned on introducing other characters in the game a lot sooner. So it's really cool to play those demos and see, oh, I see how this game changed, or originally they were going to do this and they made a change, so now that you're doing this. And I think that's really cool to get to see how the creators changed their mind, or what about the game changed as they went through the process, and it's no longer a demo, as actually a game now. I think that's really cool.
Allied destroyer joining
Oh, I'm surrounded. We're in trouble. My leg is broken. So you didn't get Metal Gear Revenge? Actually, I did. I have Metal Gear Revengeance. I actually bought it when it was on sale about 2 months ago when you were talking about it. I got the game to play. I haven't installed it or booted it up yet, but we do have that game to play. You told me about it. I said, I got to get that because Dex says it's awesome. So I did buy it. I do have it. We are going to play it at some point. I just need to remember to install it. It seems scary because they can throw you in prison at any time. Yeah, that is definitely one of those things that I don't like. I definitely don't like the possibility of that happening. I guess maybe that's the next thing we'll install is Metal Gear, and we'll play some Metal Gear. Oh, we're in trouble. Yes. Ultimate firepower. Come on, mech, destroy. Oh, well. that didn't last long, though. The mech is not indestructible. We got to have fun for 10 seconds. We have Metal Gear to play. I want to load up a copy of Dark Deeds since I just did a review on that. We've got the other game that I got that I told you guys about. That is, you play as a haunted house and your job is to scare everyone away from the haunted house. I think that's going to be a really fun game to play. We've got weekly seed missions with P-Tony now that we started doing. We've, of course, got World of Warcraft chores that we always have to do. Like, we've got so many games in so little time. This is why I need to become a full-time streamer so that I can afford to get some of these things done, but unfortunately being a full-time streamer is expensive. And like we've talked about this before, like I almost wish that I had been, a streamer earlier, because it's much easier to become a full-time streamer when you're not replacing a career income, when you're just, replacing, like if you're 16 and you start streaming and you're replacing your income working at a grocery store, it is much easier to replace the income of a part-time job than it is to replace the income of like a whole career, right? So it is one of those tough things where I don't think I can ever actually make enough money streaming to quit my job just because of how cushy and good my job is. All right, Bubble, have a good day. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. We'll be streaming on Wednesday, and that'll be the last stream of the week. That guy's name is Lawn Gnome Hitman. That is a good name. Oh, I found a random rocket launcher. I was going to blow that tank up, but they beat me to it. Okay. Well, I guess there's another tank I can blow up, because I feel like I'm getting shot from all over here. Alright, let's blow the arm off that guy to give our teammates a chance to run. Let's get out of here, my dudes. We have saved the city. Another game I want to play, and I'm mad it hasn't come, I have it on GameFly, is the new wrestling game, the Wrestling 2K25. I really want to play it because I always enjoy playing the new wrestling games and playing with like the character creator and seeing what new moves they've put in. And I really enjoyed the last couple wrestling games have done a new system where instead of just like, oh, you won so you get 3 stars for the match, you have to actually like increase your score. You have to increase the drama of the match. You actually have to like make it feel like a wrestling match where there's a back and forth and a lot of cool moves and things like that. I really like that system. I think that's really cool. So I want to play around with that because I think that's a really cool system for the wrestling match, is to, instead of just, the goal isn't just to win, the goal is to increase the hype so that people have a lot of fun watching the wrestling match. I think it's a really cool system. So it's on the list, waiting for it to come. Instead, they sent me a VR skating game, skateboarding in VR, and it is amazing. The only problem is that they wanted to make it feel like you're actually skateboarding. You know how you're pushing with your leg? You can't do that in VR, obviously, because it's based on your hands. So you've got to swing your arm like your leg to push the skateboard. And that means that I can't play it for long periods of time because I'm going to injure my arm if I do that. So cool design, but not actually like practical. I'm getting back into the wrestling game. I took a break for Infamous 2. Does it still hold up? Like, I remember loving Infamous and Infamous 2. I remember them being really fun games, but those were like early PS3 days. Like, I can't imagine they actually hold up very well anymore. I'd honestly be surprised if they still hold up. Because I'm pretty sure Infamous came out in that time period where everything had that really gross yellow and brown pee filter over it, where every game that was coming out had that really awful, gritty, realistic filter. Do you know what I'm talking about? I absolutely hate that filter. It infected the gaming world something fierce for a while.
A successful operation. Liberty.
Alright, let's evacuate some civilians. Last mission, and then we gotta go start getting ready for work.
Engaging orbital thrusters.
Okay. Let's land right there. That looks like a good spot. I feel like a baby. There's no auto aim or lock, so I feel like a terrible player. I know people hate on aim assist and auto lock-ons and all that. I just feel like that's good game design at this point. Like, I understand for online shooters where like it's a skill-based thing and you want everyone to be like on equal footing. Like, I do get that for those, but when you're just playing a regular PvE single player game, like, you need to include those options. At least include the option for it. You don't have to give it to people if they don't want it, but I feel like it's a necessity. Beat it evil, working on beating it good. I still feel like we have not gotten a game that does the morality system good. It always feels like Fable, where it's very linear, right? You do this action, you either get good or you get bad points, and then you either get a good or bad ending. They haven't done an actual, like, morally gray. Like, the closest I can think of is Mass Effect, where you could make good choices, you could make bad choices, and the accumulation of your choices affects how the game plays out. That's about the closest thing I can think of to an actual, like, good morality system in games. Other than that, they always feel so binary. Oh, we landed right on some enemies here, took them out.
Requesting tactile.
Speaking of Fable, I really do hope the Fable, because Fable's supposed to come out this year, right? We're supposed to be getting another Fable. I really do hope it does well. I loved Fable 1 and Fable 2 and even Fable 3. I know a lot of people hated on Fable 3, but I really enjoyed the Fable series, and I would really love for Fable to come back. Like, Fable has the opportunity to be the medieval Fallout, right? Like, they have a real chance to make a mark on gaming history if they don't mess it up. Let's let those guys fly by. We don't need to upset them. And then let's grab a walking barrage.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
And we'll blast half of that to Kingdom Come. Which is also another game that's on the rental list that I want to get, is Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is on the list to rent, but has not come as of yet. But we will be enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance here soon, hopefully. I'm excited to try it. A lot of people said that it's very anti-Catholic, so I was kind of nervous about buying it, but I'm excited to give it a try here. All right, dudes, get out of the way. I'm firing rockets here. You don't want to be standing in front of me when I'm doing this. I feel like they're going to mess it up. Still hopeful, though. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about every game nowadays, where it's just like, I don't have a lot of faith in gaming studios, but, you know, I'm hopeful that you'll do it right. But it feels like any game you get overly hyped for is going to be a massive disappointment. We've learned our lessons with, like, Doom and... oh, what's that other game? I can't even remember the name of it. Cyberpunk. And even for some people, even though I liked it, No Man's Sky, I know a lot of people still were kind of disappointed with that. So, like, we've learned our lesson not to get hyped about video games, because we've learned how much that hype can lead to disappointment.
Helldivers never die.
All right, we've got a cluster going on in there, so let's just set everything on fire and see what happens. Hopefully it's not exclusive to Xbox. I mean, Xbox doesn't even do exclusives anymore, right? Like, it might not come to PlayStation, but if it's an Xbox exclusive, it'll still be on PC, which means that most people will be able to play it between Xbox or PC and Game Pass and all that, right? I know they're working on expanding their Xbox Game Pass Now system, where you just play the game on like a handheld streaming virtual console too. So like they're working on making sure there's no exclusivity. They're really trying hard to make sure that there's no problems with exclusivity. And I know in return, people have been asking for Sony to give Helldivers to Xbox players as well, but I don't feel like Sony is ever going to give this game up, unfortunately. I definitely feel like they feel like this is a golden goose and they don't want to share it, which I do understand why, but also, like, the console wars are over. We're not fighting the PlayStation 1, Xbox, Nintendo fights anymore, so it's okay to not have exclusives. But there are people who bought a PlayStation just for exclusives, right? That is the only reason I own a PlayStation, because I was like, well, I've already got a PC. I can play almost every game that I want to. I don't really need another system, but because there's exclusive Xbox games or PlayStation games, okay, well, I guess I'm going to buy a PlayStation so I can play those exclusives. Like, they do still work. There's no doubt they still work. I just wish we didn't have to deal with them, you know? What is... Oh, it's a rocket launcher. There's a lot of explosions going on over here. I see there's a turret over there. I don't think... I don't... Oh, I can reach that. Wow. It's 200 meters away, and I made it mad. All right. Big jump. Here we go. Yeah, I'm hopeful there's no more exclusivity, but I know there will continue to be exclusives. Spider-Man was a deciding factor for a lot of people, as it should have been. Spider-Man was a phenomenal game. Spider-Man was great. Days Gone was great. I know that it got some bad reviews, but Days Gone was a great exclusive. The Final Fantasies, like, there is no doubt that Sony is putting out the good exclusives. And I know Nintendo's kind of the same with a lot of their exclusives, but I kind of feel like Nintendo's a little bit different, but also, like, and maybe it's just because I'm too old, but I don't feel like the Nintendo exclusives are really worth it all that much, you know? Like, there are very few Nintendo games I get excited for. Like, certainly, I still get excited for Pokemon, even though, like, I get excited for Pokemon knowing that it's going to break my heart, that it's going to upset me, that it's going to be a bad game, that I'm not going to like it. Like, it's just, it's come to be, right? They can't make a good Pokemon game anymore. They can make a passable Pokemon game, but I feel like the last good Pokemon game might have been Ruby and Sapphire. Maybe that's only because I was like 10 when it came out, because they just bungle the Pokemon games so bad. Mario Maker's good, but even like most Mario games, like, okay, it's just more platforming. Like, you haven't really added anything. There's no good story to Mario. The platforming is good, but so you've got no story, you've got good music. I just feel like it's not enough to carry a game, right? It's not enough for the game just to have good music and good platform. There's just no substance to the games. And then you've got the opposite problem where you've got like Breath of the Wild, where there's too much substance, where like we're just going to cram a bunch of garbage puzzles into this and a bunch of mechanics that nobody likes and call it a game. I don't get many exclusives besides Pokemon. Yeah. And I wouldn't even call Pokemon a good exclusive worth getting. Like I said, it's always going to disappoint you.
Engaging terminal.
Outpost destroyed.
Alright, we need to get the SSD to handle this, but we are jammed, and I'm guessing that jammer is up here. Let's go take care of the jammer. I do kind of want to get a Switch 2 just to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and hope that it actually runs semi-well. That might sell me on the Switch 2, is actually getting to enjoy those games and having them run at an acceptable frame rate. I like to use my Switch for indie and puzzle games. Speaking of indie and puzzle games, it's so weird. Like, Nintendo curates this family-friendly vibe. It's so weird how much, like, weird hentai puzzle games they allow on the Switch. They're like, hey, look, you can get this Mario game that's really family friendly, or you can get Girl Puzzle Simulator Pop 5. It's so weird that they allow those games on their store. And I get at the end of the day, it's the same reason as always, right? It's money. They just want money. It doesn't fit their vibe at all that their shop is just filled with these gross games. And again, I know that's just because they want money, but it doesn't fit the vibe. All right, Hellbomb, we got to get out of here. They just called for reinforcements, so you better come down faster.
I got the terminal. Hellbomb armed. Clear the area.
Every shop is filled with that. Yeah, that is one of the problems of our ages, and honestly, AI is making it much worse because now every person in the world with just a little bit of programming skill can make a look at this anime waifu game, give me money.
Requesting objective equipment.
Like with the power of AI and Tyranno Builder, which is a visual novel simulator game, I think with AI, I could probably make a game in less than a week that could make money. I really think I could probably pull that off with just some really fast, okay, I'm going to grab these AI images, I'm going to have AI help me write a few choices, and I'm just going to slap it together some quick, sloppy programming and put it on the cash shop for 99 cents. And I think I could legitimately probably sell some copies of the game with less than a week's work, and that's a real problem. You can download custom images and art that people post for tattoos, shirt graphics. And that's where, like, we talked about this before, that they're trying to pass a bill to ban adult images and adult content from the internet. And I know that people don't want their freedoms trounced on, and I know that people get really upset about that. And as I've said, I'm not a supporter of the bill because I don't think the government will handle it the right way. But I honestly would not be upset if we made the world a little more family friendly, if we scraped some of that nastiness off the internet and made it so that people don't have the option of just falling back on making an OnlyFans account and actually doing something meaningful and good and not degrading with their life. I would not be opposed to that. Again, I oppose the bill because I don't think the government's going to do it right or good, and I don't want the government out there doing what it does, but I don't necessarily disagree with the idea of we should get rid of some of the adult images on the internet, and we should make it so that people don't feel like their only option for surviving is making an OnlyFans account and selling their body, you know? I want people to have a little bit more hope than that. I want people to have a little bit more faith than that. Holly Blank, hello. They're banning OnlyFans. I think they're trying to. And like I understand like OnlyFans isn't adult only content. I understand the idea is that you can make a cooking show on there and people can support you on cooking shows. I understand that like you can do anything you want on there. I just also understand that people use it for a very particular thing. And like Tumblr used to be a haven for adult images, and then they made the decision to ban that 100%, and that basically destroyed Tumblr, or a huge portion of Tumblr, because that's all people were using it for. Either that or GoFundMe. Man, I was just telling Emmy about this, how like TikTok is overrun with fake scammers and AI who are using GoFundMe as like, I found this account, they've got like 50 accounts where they take an AI image of an old person crying and they say, oh, my farm, my beautiful farm, I'm losing my farm, this is my last chance to save my farm, you need to buy my Moo Slippers 5,000 from the TikTok shop or I'm going to lose my farm. And it's like, this is clearly AI, like this is an AI old person who's abusing AI to sell you something. Like, and there's so many people who fall for it, who think it's real. And I tell you, it really frustrates me because I'll see those accounts and like, okay, this is clearly AI and this is clearly fake, and they'll have 200,000 followers. And it's so frustrating. I know I've complained about this before, but I'm going to complain about it again, that I spend every day creating unique content, trying to be a content creator, creating things that are meaningful and fun and important, and I'm barely sitting at 6,000 followers, yet someone who can slap together a quick AI slop of an old person saying, my leather business is going out of business, can get 200,000 followers in a few days. That really, really frustrates me. They're trying to ban getting paid from not safe from work on the entire... I love the videos, they're hilarious, but it's also annoying. That's annoying. Like, if people took it as entertainment, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but the fact that people think that it's real is a real problem. And I know that it's only going to get worse now that we've got when they release the next edition of AI is going to allow for sound and video to work with it, and that is going to cause some next level problems when there's actual decent sound with it to make it even more believable. So all right, let's blast these guys out of the air if I can. Boom! 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 And boom! Every time I destroy something, it makes me think of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, when you would do that stupid pirate ship game where they would do like where you would miss and they go sploosh. Amon, welcome in. That sound is stuck in my head. The guy going sploosh, sploosh every time you miss. It's all bots following, and that's another part of the problem. Yeah, there's bots talking to bots. The dead internet theory becomes more and more real every day as bots start interacting with bots and talking to bots. But the problem is places like Facebook, where you have people who are susceptible to those sorts of things, don't realize that it's all bots and AI. And so like, oh, well, this can't be fake because there's 1,000 people commenting on it, so it must be real. And that just feeds into even more of the problem. Oh, we're gonna die. I need stims. Please, someone stim me. Thank you. Oh, that's a tank. I think the government wants to modernize spreading disinformation, and AI is leading the way. Oh, without a doubt. Like, that's the whole reason I was bringing up why Animal Farm is important, right? I was watching the 1950s Animal Farm video, and that's like a huge part of it is they read, you know, that no creature shall sleep in a bed. And then when they find out that the pigs are sleeping in the beds, they're like, oh no, you misremembered. The rule has always been no creature shall sleep in a bed with sheets, right? Like that's the whole idea behind the misinformation is, oh no, it's always been this. You're just misremembering. It's always been you're not allowed to sleep in a bed with sheets, but you're allowed to sleep in a bed because they were caught sleeping in the bed when the rule originally was you're not allowed to sleep in the bed, right? Like that's such an important thing to recognize, and that is one of those dangers of AI. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy some parts of AI. I do enjoy the ability to make easy thumbnails, and I enjoy the ability to do some things with it, but it's one of those things where I understand that most people are not responsible enough to have the power of AI, and it's going to cause real problems in our society because people can't recognize AI and don't understand what's going on, what's fake and what's real. And like the fact that now it just pulls from Reddit for your answers, like you're gonna trust Redditors, like you're gonna try and pass off Reddit answers as reality. Like, no way, I don't trust Redditors as far as I could throw them. So like there was a whole incident where there was a guy who was asking how to make pizza, and they told him like to put glue or something on his pizza because he was just reading the AI answer that pulled from Reddit where they were jokingly saying you should eat the glue. I do hope the video behind me of the bees, obviously, if y'all didn't know, that is AI. I was playing around with Google's AI. I was like, oh, cute bees, I'll use that. I am in the process of having a real video made by a real artist because I want to support a real artist. I want to get rid of the video behind me, but I do think that it does fall into that, like, oh, that's kind of bad, but in a funny way. So those AI bees will be gone eventually, as soon as this guy finishes making my video, which he was supposed to be done like half a month ago, but he's still working on it.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
AI waffle stream. I can't do an AI waffle stream because I asked an AI to make a picture of me based on what it's told to watch my YouTube videos and make a picture of me, and it decided that I was a 20-year-old teenage girl with pink and blue hair. So AI does not know who I am. Just learn Blender Dog, make your own. Okay. I understand that argument, and I understand people make that argument. Here's the thing, is I already work between 12 and 14 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then on weekends I'm usually working an additional 4 to 6 hours, and then I've got to take care of my house, do house chores, mow the lawn, grocery shopping, all those things. There's simply not time. On top of all the other things I do, there is just simply not time for me to actually learn Blender or to learn to draw or all those things. Like, I could certainly take the time to learn it, but then I would not have time to do anything else. So, like, I understand the idea of, yes, it is beneficial to go and learn it yourself, but I simply don't have time for anything else in my life right now, unfortunately. I already spend way too much time working for all of you. Which is also like one of the really annoying things that frustrates me about the people who are very anti-AI. That, like, I made a Helldivers video that came out yesterday, and one of the things that always happen when I posted Helldivers video, because I use a thumbnail to get interesting stuff, is someone will come and like, oh, well, you used AI to make that thumbnail, so your video is bad. Like, I spend hours creating this video for you for free labor, and you're going to come in here and destroy my work because you don't like the picture I used. Like, it's so frustrating how much people are like, oh, well, I want to watch your videos and I want access to your free labor and I don't want to support you, but also I'm going to complain about everything you do for me for free. Like, that is such a frustrating thing that people engage in. You have to train the AI bot. It's a lot of stuff to learn AI prompt engineering. Oh, definitely. I know that the people who make the large language models for AI, there's a lot of work that goes into that. Definitely no doubts there. Okay. We've got that loaded. You guys finish that up. We're going to grab some ammo. And we're going to go solve this problem over here. It's just really frustrating to have, like, your entire work dismissed because people dislike AI. And the thing is, like, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this, but, like, I don't think people really dislike AI. I think the vast majority of people say they dislike AI because it's a meme, because they're sheep, because they're not actually like thinking for themselves. They go online and they see, okay, well, the Reddit hive mind says AI is bad, so now I'm just going to parrot these points, and they don't actually have an original thought. They're just going to parrot exactly what YouTube told them to say or what Reddit told them to say on why they hate AI. They haven't actually put any thought into it, and they're just following what the internet tells them. And I've made this exact argument before, but it's like Nickelback. Take it easy, Amon. We'll see you next time. People don't actually hate Nickelback. Nickelback makes some good music. They hate Nickelback because it became a meme to hate Nickelback. Same thing with Guy Fieri. Like, it was a meme to hate Guy Fieri, even though Guy Fieri was a decent dude doing some great stuff. But because it became a meme to hate Guy Fieri, everyone just randomly said, well, I hate Guy Fieri. Why? Why do you hate Guy Fieri? Oh, because Reddit told me to hate him. Like, okay, but could you think for yourself there? Like, actually, if you're going to dislike the dude, if you're going to hate him, give me a good reason to hate him. Like, don't just be like, oh, well, the internet hates him, therefore we need to hate him. Like, that's not a good enough reason. Guy Fieri's a pretty good dude and does some great stuff. So, like, think for yourself, you know? We talking Flavortown? I love Flavortown. Though I will say, Guy Fieri, if you're watching, I went to one of the channel or one of the restaurants that you featured on. You featured on Diners, Drive-In, and all of that. You featured a sandwich shop in Ashland, Oregon, on your Diners, Drive-Ins, and all that, and it was not good. It was not worthy of being on Diners, Drive-Ins, and whatever. So, like, you owe me one sandwich, Guy Fieri, because that was not a good sandwich. However, I did order, it was an eggplant sandwich, and that is how I found out that I like eggplant. So I'd never had eggplant before. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna see if I like eggplant or not, I need to try eggplant being cooked properly. So I did like the eggplant. It wasn't a very impressive sandwich, you know? I think people hate AI because of the implications. Okay, here's the thing though. So yes, there's dangers of misinformation, but you also know where like the original misinformation came from, the internet. Like, if you're going to complain about like, oh, it hurts the earth and it spreads misinformation, so does all the internet. I don't see you hating on the internet, like, right? Like, it's a tool like anything else. Have you ever had baba ganoush? Okay, we got 3 things to talk about now, y'all. I did not. Isn't baba ganoush the name that they used on Most Extreme Elimination Challenge? I didn't realize that was a food. I thought that was the guy that they always said on that horrible dub of Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Like, I'm pretty sure you're pulling my leg. I'm pretty sure that's the fake dude they always bring up on Most Elimination Challenge. Second, you're talking about the chocolate mac and cheese. We do have another gnarly food coming up. We are going to make on stream, next stream, we are making a fluffy lemonade, which is going to be cream and lemonade. Cream and lemonade. That's supposed to be really good. So we're going to be making some fluffy lemonade. It's not good because people are losing their jobs because of AI. That's not really a great argument either. Like, okay, how many people lost their jobs because of electricity? How many people lost their jobs because of the invention of the car, because of the train? Like, we should use AI to get rid of a lot of jobs that aren't really good or necessary. Doesn't sound too bad. Sounds like a dirty soda. Exactly. It's supposed to be like a dirty soda, but everyone says it sounds really gross when I talk about making it. So we are going to try the fluffy lemonade next stream. Very excited for that. Because I am very certain that when even when computers came out, I'm certain there's people like, oh, well, if the computer can run Excel and spreadsheets, it's going to take away the jobs of all the people who do things manually. Like, that's a good thing. We should use AI to get rid of mundane and terrible jobs, right? Like, if we can replace the jobs that no one wants to do, the unsafe jobs, the unfulfilling jobs with AI, we should. If people want to pursue things like arts and their real passion, they should have the ability to do that, and AI hopefully will allow them to. But I do understand where, like, okay, but it's replacing artists. Here's the thing. And I know this is going to be an unpopular thing to say, so I'm sorry. A good artist at this point can't be replaced by AI. Oh, that's not good. Run. Like, I have made some photos with AI. I've made some photos with AI. None of those photos have been as good as my photography. Now, have I used AI to enhance my photography? Certainly. But if your art can be replaced by AI as it is now, then that's not a fault of AI. That is that your art simply isn't that good. And that's not supposed to be discouraging. Go out there and continue to build your art and things like that, but there's a cost value associated with it, right? Like, I had an artist make me a thumbnail. I decided to try this because my thumbnails aren't very good on YouTube. So I paid an artist $20 to make me a custom thumbnail for a video that I made that I thought was very important. And that thumbnail performed worse than a thumbnail that I could create in 10 seconds using a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of AI, and a little bit of just know-how. So why would I pay an artist $20 every time I need to make a thumbnail when I can generate something that performs better in a matter of seconds? And that's not saying like, oh, I don't want artists. I want artists out there, but like it's a cost value thing, right? Like, why would I hire an artist when I can do it better myself? Now, I'm sure that there are better artists that could make me a thumbnail that performs even better, and that's going to cost a couple $100, and they should be paid. Absolutely, they should be paid. I'm not saying artists shouldn't be paid. I want them to be paid. I'm not saying their art's not worth hundreds of dollars. But at the same time, I can't afford to pay an artist $200 for a thumbnail when I release 2 to 3 videos a week, right? Like, I can't afford to pay $1,000 a month for an artist to create me thumbnails. Like, that's just not realistic. I'm not saying their art is not worth that. I'm just saying that's simply not sustainable. What time do you run into the most toxic players on Helldivers? Unfortunately, I don't get to play a whole lot of Helldivers these days. I pretty much only play in the morning when I'm streaming, because after that I'm at work all day and then it's dinner time and bedtime. So I pretty much only play Helldivers at 5 a.m. Pacific time, and I typically don't run into too many bad players during that time. So I can tell you 5 a.m. is a good time to play, but I couldn't tell you any other times because I pretty much only play video games at 5 a.m. when I wake up early like an old man. Oh, excuse me. AI is a good tool to leverage if you use it with your own unique human touches. Then don't be afraid to keep arting, and that's exactly what I do. Like, I use AI to make my thumbnails because, again, I can't afford to hire an artist to constantly make me things, and I can't spend the hours making a thumbnail. So it is a tool that I use, but I still want there to be real artists. I still want there to be people selling their art and making money off their art. Also, another argument I'm gonna absolutely be frustrated with is I hate when people say, like, they'll say, oh, AI is bad because it steals art, and then they'll go to their local artist alley and buy a bootleg Pikachu photo. Like, how many artists literally are stealing art from other companies and selling it as their own and making money off of that? Like, you don't own Pikachu. You don't own the IP of Pikachu. You didn't put in the time and effort to design Pikachu in the world of Pokemon and all that. You're just capitalizing off of stealing someone else's art. And people say, well, that's okay because they're human. Like, so it's okay when humans steal art, but it's bad when a machine steals art. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Not to mention the main argument I make with that always is that that's literally what every artist has done since the beginning of time, is they've looked at someone else's art and said, wow, I really like that art. I too want to create art like that. So they learn those art styles and they make it. That's literally how art is born. That's literally how every piece of media has come to be. How many movies, TV shows, especially kids TV shows, have you watched where the episode is literally just a famous book? It's literally just the plot to a book dumbed down for a kids show. Like, that's literally how every piece of art has come into existence since cavemen were painting. So it's really hypocritical to say, well, it's bad when computers do it, but it's perfectly fine when humans do it. No, that's literally what everyone does. That is how art is generated and created. It can copy art styles amazingly. It definitely can. It can do, honestly, I hate to say this, ChatGPT can edit photos better than I can. The ability for it to analyze my photo and look at the composition, the coloring, the highlights, all of that and create a better LUT for that than I can is astounding. And Grant, I've spent hundreds of hours editing photos, but it has the ability to take my photo, compare it against thousands of other photos of similar composition, of similar colors, and tweak it to match those things. That's just simply something a human cannot do. And that is a skill. I edit photos. I've edited wedding photos. I have photo editing as a skill. The AI is simply better than me at editing photos. I just cannot compete with the machine. In the same way that you hear like the tall tale of John Henry against the machine trying to outperform the machine laying down the railway. I accept it. I cannot outperform a computer. There are just certain things that I will never compete with a computer in. In the same way that a person with a calculator could never beat a computer in speed of running a computation, right? Like there's just simply no way to compete. But does that mean I don't edit my own photos? No, I still edit my own photos. I do still find it fun to throw into ChatGPT, and I do that occasionally. I'm like, okay, I edited my photo this way. What would the computer do? And then, compare them. And more times than not, I'm like, wow, ChatGPT kicked my butt. It made a better photo than I did with editing. Again, it didn't take the photo. It didn't make a better photo than I did. It just edited it better than I can edit. Oh, we're getting shot from all directions. Oh, those are missiles. Heavy armor saves the day. Somehow I took a missile right to the chest and I live, so... Heavy armor is way too powerful. Dude slapped me in the back of the head on that one. Anyways, that's my ranting and yapping for the day. Did you bump your head? Looks like you got marked. This is a pimple patch. I woke up with a pimple, and these are supposed to help get rid of said pimples. So it is not a wound. It's just an ugly blemish that is hopefully going away. Hopefully. Come on, blow that guy up. Nice. Thank you, DSS.
Bag's empty.
Look at all that freedom being spread.
Get some. Get some.
Wound of War, I see. Yeah. I need to... I am now old enough. I need to get a daily routine of moisturizing and exfoliating and taking care of my skin. And I am a creature of habit, so I really need to... Like, once I actually sit down and create the schedule and get on it and do it for a day or two, then it'll be, second nature. I'll be doing it every day. I just need to actually start putting in the effort to put together a skincare routine. And that will solve some of the problem.
Orbital inbound.
It is one of my best and worst traits. Like, if I do something for 2 days in a row, it is now a permanent habit that is stuck in my routine. And that is such a nice thing for building habits, and it's good for good things, but it's also really bad for anything that's slightly addictive or anything that's like a bad habit. Like, I build habits so fast.
Liberty has seen you through.
Waffle rollerblading a skateboarding channel. I always wanted to be a skateboarder. I used to rollerblade a lot as a kid, but I am absolutely terrible at it. I do not have the balance required to be a rollerblader or skateboarder, unfortunately. But I would love to be a skateboarder. But also, I am too old to be a skateboarder now. I accept my limitations because if I get on a skateboard and I fall down, I'm going to hit my knee and my knee will literally turn to dust and I will never walk again. So skateboarding is for the youngins, you know, the 15-year-olds who can go flying off a board at 30 miles per hour and break their legs and arm, and then they bounce back the next day and are completely fine, right? Like that. Leave it to the young ones. I cannot afford to get hit like that. Get a tech deck. Tech deck is more my speed. There you go. That is, I can do a tech deck. Don't say you're too old for something. I am turning 34 this year. I am middle-aged. I am dust. I am old. I accept that. And again, skateboarding and falling down kind of go hand in hand, and I can't afford to take any nasty spills. But I have streamed for too long. I got to get up and go take care of things now. So thank you everyone for joining me today, but it is time that we end the stream. So as always, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today, we continue to pray for health for all the people who are sick, all the people who are in the hospital, all the people who are at home suffering. Lord, help us to deal with our ailments. We pray for people who've gone missing, victims of trafficking, people who've run away from home, people who are lost, people who don't know where home is. Lord, help to guide all those people back to safety. We pray for all the people who don't have enough food or water, shelter, whatever it is. Lord, help them. We continue to pray for people whose vocation is the priesthood, people who are discerning the priesthood. Lord, help to bring them into the priesthood to help the entire world be drawn closer to you. We pray for all the students who are graduating, who don't know what the next chapter of their life is, whether they're deciding between college or whatever may be next, or don't even know what their next step is. Lord, help to guide them. And finally, we pray for all the people who are in purgatory, all the souls who've been forgotten, all the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Have a wonderful Monday. Hopefully work is not too bad for all y'all out there. We will be back at it again on Wednesday. We'll probably be streaming our haunted house game, so do be prepared for some new games. Have a blessed day, and we will see you all Wednesday.